Namaste. Welcome everyone to today's practice. Today we're going to be doing a Hatha yoga practice based on the Tantric traditions. So from the Tantric traditions we have three types of practices. We have moon, sun and fire. Today we're going to be exploring a moon practice. What do I mean by moon practice? This type of practice is all about finding calm and stability for the mind, for the body, and coming into a state of groundedness. So it's a practice where we do lots of forward folds, we do some work on the ground. It's very cooling, calming, and grounding practice. In today's class, we're going to be exploring the use of the mantra Soham. We're going to be using this mantra throughout the class, and Soham means I am that I am. So it's part of the Tantric traditions to use mantra as a tool for self-realization. So please have two blocks, one strap, and maybe also a pillow, so we can start the practice together. We're gonna start standing. So find your way to stand up in front of your mat. Starting with your feet hip width. Actually, you can use both options, either feet hip width or feet together. If you have your feet together, make sure you have a little bit of space between your heels. I'm going to use my feet hip width. If you have the feet hip width, maybe the toes slightly in, so the outer edge of the feet is parallel with the floor. Very simple. We're going to start with some dynamic Uttanasana. So first, just settling into our mountain pose, our Tadasana. Spreading the fingers wide onto the mat. Slight bend on the knees. And a slight tuck of the tailbone, so we're opening some spaces here on the lower back. Adjusting the lower spine and lengthening the spine all the way to the crown of the head. Rolling the shoulders up and back and relaxing them down away from the ears. Chin slightly to the chest and back. Keeping a long back of the neck. Feeling all three corners of the feet grounding down to the floor. Try to keep this action of pushing the floor away with your feet, but keeping your knees slightly relaxed. Place your hands on the back of your thighs, taking a big breath in and lengthening through the top of the head. Micro bend the knees, exhale, hinging from the hips and sliding the hands down as much as possible. Be aware that you can bend your knees as much as you need to be able to have this connection of belly with upper thighs. On the next inhalation, sliding the hands, straight spine, come up. Big breath in, one more time. And as you exhale, slowly bend the knees and fold forward, sliding the hands. Try to make long exhalations. Inhale to rise, bend your knees a little bit more, use your legs to come up. We're going to do the same, adding the mantra Soham. So we're going to be using this mantra vocally and in silence. I'll guide you through with the use of the mantra. This time we're going to enchant the mantra vocally on the exhalation. So hands on the back of the thighs, lengthening through the crown of the head, breathing in. Inhale to fold with the mantra Soham. Inhale, rise. We're going to do two more. Exhale, fold, Soham. Soham. Straight spine, bend the knees to rise up in the inhalation. And exhale, fold. Soham. Stay here. You can have your fingertips on the floor, maybe grab opposite elbows. And bring the chanting of the mantra to your mind. Inhaling with so, exhaling with hum. So you're not vocally chanting, you're mentally singing the mantra. So on the breath in, hum on the breath out. We stay here for a few breaths, working on stillness, relaxing the head down, relaxing the knees, so tiny micro bend to the knees, lifting the kneecaps just a little bit, pushing the floor with your feet. Soham. We start to imprint the mantra onto the mind. Exhale to bring your hands back on your heels. On the next inhalation, bend the knees and slowly slide the hands and rise up into a standing position. Release the arms to the side. Come back to your Tadasana. Maybe even close your eyes for 1 second. Feeling the spaciousness and grounding through the feet. Relaxing the knees. Beautiful. Turn to your right side or your left side and come to a slightly wider stand, so your feet are a little bit wider than the hips. We're going to also work with a little bit of dynamic forward fold and adding the mantra after that. So right hand on your right hip. Inhale to raise the left arm up. And exhale to lean to the right side. Inhale, bringing both hands to the back of the thighs. Exhale to fold forward, again sliding the hands all the way down to the back of the ankles. Bend the knees, inhale to come up, push the floor. Left hand on the hip, in the same inhalation, rising the right arm up. And as you exhale, lean to the left, lengthening the right side body. On the next inhalation, coming back to center. So this is the movement. We're going to be adding the mantra Soham into this sequence. Again, chanting the mantra vocally with the exhalation. Right hand on the hip. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, side bend. Soham. Inhale, bring your hands to the back of your thighs. Bend the knees, exhale, fold. Soham. Inhale to rise all the way up. This time, right arm up to the sky. Exhale to lean to the left. Soham. Inhale again, hands back of the thighs. Exhale, fold. Soham. Inhale, slowly rise up. Left arm up. And breathe out to the right side. Soham. Inhale, hands down. Back of the thighs. Exhale, fold. Soham. Bend the knees and inhale to rise. Right hand up. Exhale, Soham. Inhale, hands down. Breathing out, Soham. Soham. Inhale to come up. Slowly linking the breath with the movement. Left arm up. And breathe out. Soham. Breathing in, arms down all the way to the back of the thighs. Slowly enjoying the movement. Exhale, fold. Soham. Inhale, rise. Pushing the floor with your feet. Right arm up, left hand on the hip. Exhale, lean to the left. Soham. Next inhalation, come back to center. One more forward fold. Breathing out. Soham. Breathing in, rising up. Left arm up. Bend to the right. Soham. This time we hold here for a few breaths, bringing the silent mantra into the mind. So on the inhalation and hum on the exhalation. Grounding your feet, lengthening the left side of the body, but also lengthening the right side of the body. Try to reach with your fingers a little bit further towards the right side. Soham. On the next inhalation, bringing hands to the back of the thighs, forward fold, vocally chant the mantra. Soham. Inhale to slowly rise, sliding the hands, raising the right arm. Exhale, bend to the left. Soham. And hold. Silent mantra. Shoulders away from the ears. In breath with so, out breath with hum. Lengthening the left side and lengthening the right side. Center of the heart pointing forward. Long exhalations. Next inhale, hands behind the thighs, coming up. Exhale to fold with the mantra. Soham. Bringing tip of the fingers to the floor, or maybe even using blocks if this is better for you today. And we're going to hold here on the forward fold for a few breaths. Again, bringing the silent mantra, Soham, long exhalations. Lifting the kneecaps. Soham. With each exhalation, try to see if you can fold forward maybe a little bit more, and maybe even blocks are not going to be necessary anymore. So relax the head down. Soham. Try to relax the soles of the feet at the same time you're pressing down. Try to become as effortless as possible during the asana practice. On the next exhalation, bring your hands to the back of your ankles. Bend the knees, inhale to rise up. Maybe closing the eyes, relaxing the arms alongside the body. Spaciousness, awareness. And blinking the eyes open, coming back to the front of your mat. Now I'm sweating a lot. So we're going to move into some dynamic Utkatasana. So a little bit of challenge for the practice. Maybe you can have a block to assist you on this one. Placing the block on your thighs, right, like on top of the knees, so your feet is hip width. Block is optional. You can also work with without the block. And for this one, I would suggest maybe having your feet together, toes touching, slight space between the heels. I'll be using the block for today. So placing your block and choosing a hand position. So maybe your hands in front of your chest, maybe your hand on your hips. To start, inhale, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale to sit down on your chair pose. So sending the buttocks back and down, bending the knees. Look to your feet. Make sure you can see your toes, so your knees are not crossing the line of your toes here. Slight tuck of the tailbone, so we have a long and flat lower back. Hands to the heart center. Maybe this is where you stay, especially if you have any troubles with the shoulders. Otherwise, inhale, arms up. Biceps aligned with the ears. And as you exhale, fold forward without changing the placement of the legs. We're just folding forward into Utkatasana. Inhale to come up, maybe sitting a little bit lower. And exhale to fold. Inhale to rise up. We're going to do that 3 more times with the mantra. So exhale, Soham. Soham. And inhale to rise. 2 more times in your own rhythm. Silent chant the mantra on the exhalation. Inhale to rise all the way up, still sitting on your chair. And exhale to fold. On the next inhalation, come up. And maybe you're coming up to a standing position if this is too much already for today. Otherwise, we're going to hold here. Little bit of tapas, challenge, discipline. Pressing your block, so you're squeezing the knees together. Shooting energy through the fingers up. Mentally chanting the mantra, Soham, for 3 breaths. On the next inhalation, press down, push the floor, and come to straight legs, Tadasana. Release your block to the side. Feet can be together or hip width. Slight bend on the knees. Inhale to rise the arms out and up. Connecting the palms, bend the knees, hinging from the hips, fold forward. Inhale, hands to your shins, halfway lift, chin to chest, long spine. Exhale to plant the hands onto the floor and step back into your downward facing dog. Next inhalation, bring your knees to the floor, untuck your toes, and sit on your heels. We're going to do some dynamic work also on the floor using the mantra. So come onto your tabletop. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Big breath in, push the floor with knees and hands. As you breathe out, slowly bringing buttocks towards the heels and forehead to the floor. Breathing in to come back to your tabletop. Same thing, breathing out, this time with the mantra Soham. Soham. 2 more. Breathe in to rise up. And exhale, buttocks to heels. Soham. Last one, inhale to rise. Connecting movement and breath. Exhale, Soham. Soham. Buttocks to heels, forehead to the ground. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Silent mantra, Soham. Relax your arms. Allow your buttocks to sink down. So on the inhalation, hum on the exhalation. Place the pinky edge of your hands on the floor, so your pinky fingers are pressing down, your thumbs are pointing up. Keeping keeping your arms straight, biceps aligned with the ears. On the next inhalation, coming up to a kneeling position. And as you exhale, coming down again, buttocks to heels, forehead to the ground, slowly. Inhale to come up. Shoulders away from the ears, press the knees onto the floor. Exhale with the mantra, Soham. All the way to the floor. 2 more times. Inhale, rise. Use your legs, relax your shoulders. Exhale, fold. Soham. Soften your body. Inhale up. Last one, exhale, fold. Soham. Forehead to the ground. Palm of the hands down to the floor. Few breaths. On your next inhalation, transitioning through your tabletop position to bring your chest to the floor and laying onto your chest. Forehead to the ground, hands under the shoulders into a stance for baby cobra. And first, let's adjust the legs on this posture. So walking with the legs back one at a time, opening some spaces on the pubic area. Fingers are widespread. Hug your elbows in. On your next inhalation, rise up, raising the chest, looking slightly forward. And exhale down. Forehead to the ground. We're going to do this a couple of times with the mantra. So exhaling with the mantra of Soham vocally. Inhale to raise the chest. Exhale, Soham. Silent. 3 more times in your own rhythm. Inhale to rise. Don't put pressure on your hands. You can almost hover the hands off the floor. Squeeze the elbows in. Exhale, Soham. Inhale up. Exhale, Soham. Last one, inhale. Rise up, open the chest. Elbows in. Exhale down, slowly. Soham. On the next inhalation, we're coming up. One more time. And holding here. Pressing the tops of the feet onto the floor. And grounding the pubic bone onto the ground. Strong through the back body. So, on the inhalation, hum. On the exhalation, chant the mantra silently on your mind. Next exhalation, chest back to the floor. Push the floor with your hands. Transition through tabletop all the way to Balasana Child's Pose. Forehead to the ground. Take a few breaths here. Place your hands under the shoulders. Press yourself back into a seated position. Transition to lay on your back. So, legs to the side, coming to a supine position. So we're counterposing the back bend a little bit, just hugging the knees towards the chest. Maybe rocking a little bit from side to side, massaging the lower back. Feel the shoulders onto the floor. Feel just a couple of belly breathing here. And on your next exhalation, bring the legs back to the floor. Extend your arms to the side into a T shape or maybe a cactus shape, whatever feels better for you today. If you have your arms on a T shape, maybe you can also have your palms facing down or facing up, many options. So exactly as you are, bring your navel to your spine and try to glue your lower back onto the floor. Notice what happens on this area of your body. So navel to spine, lower back down. Start to activate the legs, lift the kneecap. Next inhalation, bringing both legs up 90 degrees with the floor. Your toes are pointing towards you. You're kicking through the heels towards the sky. Big breath in, lengthen through the heels up. And as you exhale, let your knees fall slightly to the right side. So your left hip move a little bit out of the floor, but you're turning your navel back to the left side. So small twist. Left shoulder down, both shoulders pressing down evenly. Navel to the spine, strong core. Kick through the heels and point the toes towards you. Strong legs. Next inhalation, come back to center. Lengthen through the heels. And exhale to the left side. Dropping the feet around 45 degrees to the left. Right buttocks slightly up. Right shoulder down. Navel to the spine. Lifting the kneecaps. Strong through your center. Next inhalation, come back to the center. Remember, you can always rest, so you can just bend your knees and bring your knees to your chest if you ever need a break. Otherwise, we move forward a little bit, breathing in, extending through the heels. On your exhalation, lowering just the right leg down to the floor, navel to the spine. Hover that the right foot onto the floor, over the floor. Hold. On your next inhale, bringing the right leg up again. Exhale to lower the left leg. Bringing the foot close to the floor, just hovering above the floor. Hold. Inhale to bring the leg up. Feel free to take a break. Otherwise, big inhalation, lengthening through the legs. This time, you can place your hands alongside the body, hands close to your glutes, palms facing down. On the next exhalation, lower the feet 45 degrees. So you're feeling your sacrum pressing down, toes pointing towards you, chin towards your chest. Activating Uddiyana Bandha, so navel to spine, this whole upper abdomen in. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slowly lowering the legs all the way down to the floor. Next inhalation, bring your knees to your chest and give them a big hug. Again, rocking from side to side. Beautiful. Placing the feet onto the floor, extend the arms alongside the body and check if you can reach the tip of the fingers with the back of your heels slightly or just a 1 centimeter distance. Make sure you have your feet hip width, toes are slightly in, so the outer edge of the feet is parallel with the mat. Keep your arms straight on the inhalation, raising the arms up and lifting the hips up to the sky, bringing the arms all the way down to the floor, biceps aligned with the ears. Hips are reaching up. Press with your feet. Exhale to come down, hips and arms back down to the floor. Inhale to rise up. Slowly breathing with the movement. And exhale vocally mantra Soham. Soham. 2 more times. Inhale to rise. Exhale Soham. Soham. Last one. Inhale. Push the floor. Use your feet to lift your hips. Exhale down. Soham. Inhale to rise up 1 more time. Active fingers. Arms down to the floor. And this time we hold here. Silent mantra in your mind. So with the inhalation, hum with the exhalation. Press the root of the big toes onto the floor and the outer edge of the feet down and lift your hips a little bit higher, activating your hamstrings. So hum. Long exhalations through the belly. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Push the floor a tiny little bit more with your feet. On your next inhalation, lift your hips a little bit higher. And as you exhale, slowly bringing hips and arms back to the floor. Bring your arms to the sides and just drop the knees to the sides, one side at a time. So you're wiggling the knees from side to side. Just a little bit of release for the lower back. And slowly come back to center. Place your arms alongside your body, bringing the palms down to the floor. Extend your legs. We're moving into shoulder stand. So if you have anything going on with the shoulders, maybe you skip this posture for today. Or also if you're menstruating or pregnant, you should also skip this in your practice today. So on your next inhalation, navel to spine, raise the legs up. And from here you can do that with the legs extended, or you can bend your knees. It's going to help you a little bit to come up into your shoulder stand. On your next inhale, maybe even using a little bit of the strength of the hands, but pulling your hip up and back, and placing your hands on the lower back so your knees are more or less close to your forehead. And stay here for a little bit to adjust the shoulders. So bringing the shoulders in and bringing the elbows in as much as possible, finding this alignment. Once you find the alignment, start to straighten the legs up to the sky. Try to keep your chin slightly away from the chest as much as possible. And here we're trying to look for a straight line between the feet, the knee, and the hip. Shoulder blades in. And bring the mantra again to your mind as you bring the breath to your belly. Soham, I am that, and that I am. Bring your attention completely to the silent chanting of the mantra. Feel free to release at any point if you feel any strain, otherwise 2 more breaths. On the next inhalation, release the arms to the floor. Maybe you can bend your knees or keep your legs straight and slowly roll vertebra by vertebra back to the floor, feet on the floor. Lift your hips and place your wrists right under your buttocks. Your hands are together and you're sitting back on top of the wrists. Extend the legs, toes are pointing towards your head. On the next inhalation, you're opening the chest towards the sky, bending your elbows and sliding the back of the head onto the mat so the top of the head is touching the mat into fish pose, a little counter pose for the neck here. So there's not much weight on the head. You're using your forearms to sustain the position. Open the chest, center of the heart towards the ceiling. Lifting the kneecaps, flexing the toes. Push the floor with the forearms, slightly lift the head and start to bring your chin towards your chest, sliding the head so the back of the head is back on the mat. Feet to the floor, raise the hips and release the arms to the side. Turn to run one side. Use your hand to help pressing yourself up into a seated position. Sitting close to the back of your mat, maybe this is a good opportunity to use your pillow. Place it on the back of your mat so we can lift the hips a little bit higher for some dynamic Paschimottanasana. So sitting at the edge of your pillow and remove the flesh out of the buttocks. Extend the legs. Make sure you have your strap close to you in case you need it. First, we're going to build our Paschimottanasana. Starting from Dandasana, foundation of the seated postures. Fingertips on the sides of your hips. Toes, the root of the toes are together, pointing towards each other. Your fingers are pointing forward. Opening the chest, shoulders down. Pressing the floor with your sitting bones and also pressing the floor with your heels a little bit. Notice what happens when you press the heels down. Chin towards the chest, lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, arms out and up. Relax the shoulders down, pressing down with the sitting bones, and exhale to fold forward. Notice that you should maybe keep an alignment of the spine, so not rounding with the spine, but more than this, folding from your navel. So bringing your navel towards your upper thighs as you fold forward. Press the heels onto the floor, flex the toes, and lengthen. Maybe this is where you're going to stay, maybe you fold a little bit more. And inhale to rise up. If you're feeling anything on the shoulders, feel free to keep the hands on the chest. Otherwise, hands up above the head. We're going to work a little bit dynamically. So inhaling, lengthening through the crown of the head. Exhale, Soham, vocally. Soham. Inhale to rise, sitting bones down, shoulders down. 2 more times. Exhale. Soham. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale, fold. Soham. And from here, maybe reach for your feet. This is where you can use your strap if you don't quite reach your feet. So placing the strap on the balls of the feet and finding your Paschimottanasana. Open the chest, center of the chest, your sternum facing forward towards your feet, shoulders down and back, straight spine, long neck. And again, bring the mantra to the mind. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Lifting the kneecaps a little bit. Lengthening the lower back. Few breaths here with the mantra, and now add a little retention at the bottom of the exhalation. So inhaling with so, exhaling with hum, and at the bottom of your out breath, hold for 2 seconds, and breathe in again. Keep on inhaling with so, exhaling with hum, and pausing at the end of the out breath. Grounding to the floor, pressing sitting bones and pressing the heels down. Lengthen the spine. Breathing in, and on the next exhalation, maybe folding forward a little bit more. Maybe you're walking with your hands on your strap. Maybe you're going to be even able to reach your feet. Remember that your legs are active. On your next exhale, extending the arms, biceps alongside the ears. And as you inhale, come up to a seated position, hands down into Dandasana. Slowly start to transition to lay on your back, preparing for Shavasana. Maybe it's a good opportunity to relax the back of the knees and place something behind the knees. Allow your feet to fall to the side. Your arms are a little bit far from your body. And relax the shoulders down. Before we go into full relaxation, We're going to do a quick breathing exercise, quick pranayama called Viloma. I'm going to explain it to you first. So it consists in breaking down the inhalation in 3 parts: belly, floating ribs, and chest. So we're inhaling in 3 parts of the body, 2 seconds each, and we're exhaling completely all the way to the bottom of the exhalation. So I invite you to follow the breathing with your hands, placing hands on the belly, ribs, and chest, and on the exhalation, slowly sliding the hands all the way back to the belly. We're going to do that for four rounds together. So first, let's start together by placing the hands on the belly and feeling the movements of the belly breathing. Connecting with the breath. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose, preparing and fully empty. Breathing in through the belly for 1, 2. In through the ribs for 1, 2. Sip of air through the chest for 1, 2. And exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In through the belly, 1, 2. In through the ribs for 1, 2. In through the chest, 1, 2. Full exhalation, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In through the belly, ribs, chest, and slowly breathing out, 8. Last round, breathing in through the belly, in through the ribs, feeling the chest, and exhale down. 6, 5, 2, 1. Release the arms to the sides, palms facing up. Allowing gravity to work on your entire body. As you slowly relax each and every part of your body. Maybe you can notice that you still have the mantra in your mind's sound, keeping it there with you. Relax the shoulders and the arms, allowing the hips to melt down. Soham. Long exhalations through your belly. becoming an observer of the sounds around you. Maybe picking up the sounds that are close to you. Noticing the sounds outside the room. And bring your attention back to the body, awakening the hands and the feet, small movements. Maybe arms up above the head, full body stretch, toes pointing down. Slowly and mindfully turning to your right side or left side. Stay here for a couple of breaths into an embryo position. Maybe keeping your eyes closed or just a soft gaze. Use your top hand to press the floor, helping yourself to come back to a seated position. And elevating the hips with your block, with your pillow. Finding your seat. Rooting the sitting bones down. Relax the legs and relax the groins. Knees falling down to the floor. Just resting the hands wherever they are, palms facing down or palms facing up. We'll stay here for a few minutes of concentration with the mantra Soham. So try and find this silent chanting of the mantra again, back onto your mind's sound. Practicing to chant so with the inhalation, mentally, silently chanting, and hum with the exhalation, slowly. Keeping your belly breathing. And you might notice that it's not the breath that creates the mantra, it's quite the opposite. The mantra creates the breath. So the inhalation comes out of the field of so, And the exhalation comes back to the field of hum. Soham. Just observe that for a few moments. Bring your attention to the back of your throat. Full awareness to the back of the throat. Inhaling and feeling the cool of the air with So. Exhaling, feeling the warmth of the air with Hum on the back of your throat. You can feel the sensations of the air going through the back of the throat. Soham. Bring your awareness up to the space between the eyebrows. Bring your attention to the midbrain. And visualize the mantra Soham unfolding from that space. Center of the eyebrows, Ajna chakra. Maybe you're visualizing concentric circles coming in and out of that space as vibration of the mantra. I am that, and that I am. Becoming completely absorbed in the field of the sound. Soham. Coming to the realization that you are this vibrational state, this state of pure bliss. as you become fully absorbed in spacious awareness. Bring your hands together in front of your heart center. Bow your chin to your chest, honoring this practice, the teachings of this practice. Bring your thumbs to the space between the eyebrows, clarity of perception. Bring your thumbs to slightly touch your lips. Words of truth, kindness, and compassion. Bring your thumbs back to your heart center. May we be able to connect with the truth of our souls. Namaste.